story appears ordinary until you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Good evening and thank you for joining us on CoreTV News at 7. I am Frank Omalapi and here are some of the stories we're filing at this time. The Bring Back Our Girls group has been forced to converge elsewhere for its planned protest march to the presidential villa in commemoration of the 6th month the abducted Chibok girls are spending in captivity. This was after the group believed to be sympathetic to the government converge on the Unity Fountain, the usual venue of the daily sit-out of the protest movement. Security has also been beefed up around the two main gates leading to the presidential villa gate to discourage the Bring Back Our Girls campaigners. The group, led by a former education minister, Obi Ezekwesili, had planned to march to the villa in order to have an audience with President Goodluck Jonathan. The meeting, according to the group, was to avail them the opportunity to hear efforts being made to secure the release of over 200 students abducted by members of the Boko Haram exactly 6 months ago. President Goodluck Jonathan is confident that the activities of the insurgents and other cross-border criminals would soon be checked with intensified joint patrols, military operations and intelligence sharing between Nigeria and its neighbors. He expressed this optimism while welcoming the Ministers of Defense and Foreign Affairs of Chad, Niger, Cameroon and Benin Republic to Nigeria. They are in Abuja to work with their Nigerian counterparts on a legal framework for cross-border military operations recently approved by President Jonathan and neighboring heads of state in Niamey, Niger Republic. Jonathan also reaffirmed his belief that decisions made in Niamey will boost joint actions against Boko Haram and other cross-border criminal groups. He told the visiting ministers, who were accompanied by Nigeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Aminu Wali, and the Chief of Defense Staff, Alex Bade, that he expected them to come up with an effective action plan for the successful implementation of decisions reached by leaders of all four countries. One of Nigeria's newest political parties, the Unity Party of Nigeria, is facing a major crisis within 6 months of its registration. A turmoil in the party led to a rowdy session at its National Executive Committee meeting presided over by National Chairman Frederick Fashion. Allegations and counter-allegations were bandied around as party members almost went physical with one another. A correspondent, Pine Samuel, has more.
It all began like a family reunion after a long tussle on who leads the party affairs. But that was until the chairman accused the national secretary of forming a clique within the party.
Arising from the purported and illegal NEC meeting, a motion to suspend the national chairman. 2, a motion to pass a vote of no confidence on the national chairman. The declaration of the reported financier of the illegal NEC meeting, Prince Rotimi Pasheda, as UPN governorship candidate for Ogun State. For the avoidance of doubt, as of today, UPN has no governorship candidate in Ogun State or in any other state for that matter. The emergence of anyone as our candidate will follow due process.
This didn't go down well with the secretary, who did not hesitate to make his position known on the issues raised by the chairman.
Therefore, in response to the directive of the NWC, which to state perceived constitutional breaches commits by the national chairman. Number 1, violation of NEC directive on the appointment of caretaker committees for giving appointment letters for those who are not qualified as chairman caretaker, e.g. Ogun, Lagos, and Delta states.
As if that was not enough, another party official who felt he was accused wrongly insisted that he had to clear his name. So he reacted in this manner.
If the chairman is accusing people of falsehood, we should also be cautious of not to be accused of the same thing. There are people that have never attended net meeting. Right from inception, chairman listed them as those that were not invited, did not attend the meeting. When we don't have any record to show that these people even accepted the offices being given to them in the first instance.
Hey, excuse me.
The lot fell on the youth leader to intervene. He insisted that he was disappointed at what he described as a tussle of egos within the party.
History will not forgive all the national leadership of UPA. History will not forgive you because you have exposed this party into ridicule. This party that is less than 6 months, we are reading on newspaper about this party. The chairman will say this, the national publicity secretary will say this, the organizing secretary, the national secretary will say this. This is lack of coordination. I want to appeal to you in the name of God. And I want to appeal to you in the name of this nation. I want us all to drop this toga of selfishness.
The party was touted as a reincarnation of the UPN of the Second Republic, led by the late Chief Obafemi Awolowo. But many analysts fear that it may be a matter of time before the 6-month-old party goes under. Pius Samuel, CoreTV News, Abuja.
And our former Vice President and presidential aspirant on the platform of the All Progressive Congress, Atiku Abubakar, says he plans to encourage the private sector to create jobs through tax rebate. This is one of the key items of his draft policy agenda, which was released at a section with finance correspondent in Abuja. The policy touches key areas including employment generation and wealth creation, infrastructure and power, education and skill acquisition, security, citizenship and governance, agriculture and food security, and Niger Delta and Northeast reintegration.
The main thrust is the explicit bid to modify the way the machinery of federal government works by one, providing the political will, vision, and capacity to lead this great nation with great population. Clarifying and streamlining MDA's remits and responsibilities, removing overlaps and operational redundancies. Systematically devolving and delegating operational responsibilities to states and local governments and private sector organizations, both commercial and charitable. Addressing habits and practices that currently compromise policy implementation. Enriching good governance is the hallmark of our administration, and eventually ensuring that solutions can be implemented, monitored, and evaluated.
His address, the Director General of the Atiku Campaign Organization, Babalola Borishade, noted that the draft policy will be exhaustively reviewed by a panel comprising policy experts later in the month at the Obasanjo Presidential Library in Otaogun State. Now, the directive of the Chief Judge of Ekiti State, Ayo Daramola, to reopen all courts in Ekiti State, the military siege on the Ado-Ekiti High Courts remains. Ekiti State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice Wale Fakunda, who spoke to CoreTV News on the development, says the action of the security agents has further explained the determination of some elements to rubbish the judicial system in the state.
Existence of the military, especially the military personnel and other security agencies there. It's happening. It's a gradual descent into a situation where the judiciary becomes irrelevant in the scheme of things. And there appears to be no respect for the judiciary, and it's establishing a very dangerous and sad precedent.
However, there is a need to correct what he described as anomaly before it becomes a point of bad reference in history.
He looked at me with such audacity and said, what are you saying, Mr. Attorney? Is this not the state where somebody beat up a judge? What happened? Did people not invade the court? What happened? So, you know, for this state, we are gradually going down the slippery slope of lawlessness. And that is truly tragic. It's truly tragic. People see politics now, but in the long run, they will see that access to justice will be the loser in all this.
The Ado-Ekiti High Court has been the center of drama over the E11 case challenging the eligibility of Governor-elect Ayo Farishe to contest in the June 21 governorship election. Farishe is, however, due for swearing in on the 16th of October. The recent invasion of Ado-Ekiti Court and its ongoing siege by security agencies has again received knocks. This time around, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Aminu Tambuwal, National Chairman of the APC, John Odige Oyegun, and former Governor of Ekiti State, Segun Oni, are the latest to condemn the assault. Our correspondent Rashida has more in this report.
The dust raised by the Ekiti High Court invasion is not settling anytime soon, especially when the siege on the court enters its second week. Speaker of the House of Representatives, Aminu Tambuwal, condemned in strong terms the invasion, saying it's an affront on the last hope of the common man.
It's an unfortunate incident. Judiciary is not only the last hope of the common man, but is an institution and an arm of government that should be respected by all and sundry. By the time we decide to take laws on our hands, who will be there to adjudicate for who and for what and on what matter? It's unfortunate, it's condemnable, it should be investigated, and those who perpetrated that act must be brought to book.
For the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, John Odige Oyegun, the development portrays lawlessness that has eaten deep into the nation's cankerworms.
Anybody seeing what is going on today, the dollars being transmitted to South Africa, the crisis we have in the Northeast, and all the other disgraceful things and the sheer impunity, and what is today happening in Ekiti State, because of which I refuse to personally go and accept my national honor. I accepted the honor, but I personally could not think of going there smiling, shaking hands, when the entire judiciary, the last hope of this nation, the last hope of the common man, was being so brutalized and bastardized.
The former governor in Ekiti State, Segun Oni, regrets the clampdown on the judiciary in a democratic dispensation. He warned the elites against running foul of the legal system.
The court cannot sit. If people will have the power to overpower the courts, this did not happen in the worst days of the military. No military government muzzled down the judiciary to say this case would not be heard. And it was so. This is a civilian government. This is a democracy. I only hope that the political elites are not going to create more turmoil.
The Ado-Ekiti Court invasion saga and developments playing out after have thrown up a lot of unanswered questions and left observers watching with keen interest. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado-Ekiti.
After a two-day trip to Abuja, Adamawa State Governor Balangilare arrived Yola on the same flight with the embattled Amadu Fintere. The two were set to be at loggerhead after the Fintere was sacked by a federal high court ruling that reinstated Ngilare. The exchange pleasantry at the airport, signaling that the two politicians have settled their differences. After inspecting a guard of honor mounted at the government house, Ngelari later addressed party supporters at the government house after being welcomed by Adamawa PDP chairman Joel Madaki. He promised to run an open government that will deliver the dividends of democracy.
There is one thing I guarantee and assure all PDP members and all citizens of Adamawa. I will do justice to everybody. Justice through the vehicle of PDP as a political party. To ameliorate the difficulties that our people are suffering, our youth, our women will have to give them the price that they deserve.
Ngelari further appealed to PDP members that have defected to other political parties to return.
And use this opportunity to appeal to all PDP members who, for one reason or the other, have moved on temporarily to other parties to come back home. We want to guarantee them there will be justice, equity, and fairness in the government.
Entities of the World Bank on Tuesday paid a courtesy call and the Adamawa State Governor Bala Ngelari at the government house in Yola to express gratitude over the Nigerian health investment project backed by the bank. Leader of the team says the pilot project, which started in Furore local government area of the state and yielded result, has necessitated its extension to that part of the state. The $50 million project spanning a period of 5 years will also be taken to Michika and Madagali local government areas that are already affected by insurgency.
By the end of this week, we will have covered 12 out of the 21 local governments, and before the end of the year, all the local governments in the state will have been completely covered. This has only been possible because of the cooperation that we enjoy from the State Ministry of Health, from the State Permanent Care Development Agency, and from the good people that constitute the local government PSC departments all over your state. It is not the World Bank coming to implement here. It is your people that are doing this implementation. And I want to commend you and commend your state for this cooperation that we enjoy with Adamawa State. I want to say that the journey has just started. This project is a 5-year project and we are just about 1 year old. So the journey has just started. What I want to see at the end of the 5 years is that our children are fully immunized, they are healthy. What I want to see is that our mothers are delivering safely. What I want to see is the health sector that is buoyant, the health sector that we can rely on.
Governor Bala Ngelari acknowledges the World Bank for its intervention in the health sector and requests that other areas which need intervention in the state should also be given attention by the World
Bank will appreciate, we appreciate you. And of course, like Oliver too, even ask for more intervention in areas that are not within the ambit of your present assignment. And we have confidence in the leadership right now. And like I said, we'll support these noble and laudable objectives of the World Bank. And in this regard, therefore, I say thank you very much on behalf of the good people of Adamawa State, and look forward to more partnering between us and the World Bank, like I said, in other areas apart from the healthcare sector.
You're watching CoreTV News at 7. We'll take a short break. We're back after this time out. Stay with us.
Glad to have you join us for another edition of The Political Arena, the most detailed and incisive political show.
If you are a sitting governor and the opposition is able to stomach structure against you, that means you are wicked to the people.
They gave me 20 minutes to move or they will shoot me.
He has no chance for survival.
if he likes himself, this is the best time to get out before he perishes.
The PDP as a ruling party has failed.
So anybody who thinks that government will fold his hands and allow miscreants to take over the streets of Osun State and cause havoc is deceiving himself.
The good, bad, ugly and beautiful sides of the Nigerian political system. Join me every Sunday at 9:15 p.m. on CoreTV News.
Glad to have you back. Now, Abuja indigenes, under the umbrella of the Original Inhabitants Development Association, have accused supporters of FCT Minister of playing politics with their socio-economic demands. The group also maintained that some of the projects, including land swap and the Centenary project touted as landmark achievements, were aimed at short-changing Abuja natives. It added in a statement issued in Abuja that the people behind a recent rally urging the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory not to leave to pursue his alleged governorship ambition in Bauchi State are sycophants. The umbrella body of Original Abuja indigenes insists that the natives have not benefited much from the incumbent FCT minister in spite of his long tenure compared to others like Jeremiah Useni and Nasru El-Rufai. The man who led the recent rally in support of the FCT minister, however, insists that he enjoyed the backing of 8% of Abuja indigenes. Danjuma Busa told CoreTV News that the group which embarked on a recent citywide rally is a coalition of smaller community-based associations of Abuja indigenes. He maintained that it was not a sponsored PR campaign and argued that the administration of FCT Minister Bala Mohammed is the best since the establishment of the Federal Capital Territory.
Is why I'm fully committed to encouraging this administration is because of the step he has taken. You know what I'm saying? So it's not because of anything. This man is doing it together with carrying us along. The past administration, you know what I'm saying, when they will start something, I don't know that it will fail. It has never worked. The issue of settlement compensation has never worked. If I do his tenure, I remember why we have the one Galiwi was all those when they wanted to relocate some of the communities. Did it work? No. When you go to those places, you even go and see the building, type of buildings. They will even say this is a quarry. You know, there will be one small hut like this. Has done everything for us. But we have seen that whatever step that he's taking, he's getting us involved, he's carrying us along. Of course, even if he ends this tenure, that does not mean that he's going to solve all our problems, but you see, he's leaving a legacy that has never been left before.
The World Health Organization has certified 3 local drugs manufacturers to produce globally accepted medicines for malaria and HIV/AIDS. Health Minister Onyebuchi Chukwu disclosed this at a news conference in Abuja. He added that this now brings to 4 the number of Nigerian companies that have now met with WHO standards in drug production.
Nigeria now has 4 pharmaceutical companies that have gained the World Health Organization Good Manufacturing Practice Certification, the GMP. And I understand they are also the only 4 pharmaceutical companies in the whole of West Africa that have done so. Therefore, Nigeria has now joined the rest of the global community in this regard. The world awaits that products such as Artemether lumefantrine combination tablets for malaria, for instance, lamivudine tablets for HIV/AIDS, levofloxacin tablets that are used for infections including tuberculosis, zinc sulfate tablets for the treatment of diarrhea, fluconazole injections, as well as ciprofloxacin tablets, just to cite some examples. All these being manufactured here in Nigeria.
Well, and that's a wrap on CoreTV News at this time, and thanks for watching. I am Frank Omalape. Don't forget, join us at 9:45 p.m. for our prime time bulletin. Good evening.